I've got some ideas how we can sort these stocks. What are some ideas that all of you have? I saw some
stocks.
Yeah. We could use a for loop. Could look at all of them. What do we need to know in order to sort out our stocks by month, year, that kind of thing? Probably want to look at years and months and stuff, right? I agree. What? I don't know. I want to group my stocks. I'm thinking by month and year. For each. What would that do? What does sort do? What does filter do? You're giving me methods, but like that's not going to help me if I don't know what to do with them. I know. I know. Today is a real rough one. Huh? Okay. I don't know. Contains a variable. I don't know how to do that stuff. Where should I start? What might be helpful? I want to sort all this stuff out by month and year. Maybe it would help to know all the months and all the years. Is that okay? You sure? I'm getting a lot of like angry looks, not many happy looks. So let's see if we can look through our stocks and get first the years. It's going to be easier. And to you too. So our years are going to be, I don't know, we've got an array of stocks. Now, if I were to look at each stock, has anyone used a map recently? What? I do. I'm not there yet. Trust me though. So what I'm going to do in my map potentially is I'm going to look at every stock. I'm just going to return the years on those stocks. And then afterwards, what's going to happen is I'm going to have an array that's probably something like this. And so on. So first, I'm using this map just to create an array with literally all the year values. Years. So that this way, I don't need to know going into my app what all the years are. I'm just going to say, get me the years. I'm going to use a similar process to get all the months. And then I'm going to create new objects with those things. So get all the years. This is all the years. After we do that, we'll figure out get only the unique ones. From this guy. So in this map, what we can do is say, let's do a long form closure and then maybe refactor it. So for, I'm going to use, I guess, a stock in this. And then we're going to return, my goal here is to return a string. Because years, look at it, are strings. So this is going to return an array of strings. For each stock, just return the year. That's our map. Map takes an array and returns an array. It doesn't change that original array. It lets you do literally anything. It might be look through the array and return stock.year as an int times 100. You can do whatever you want in here. Map is super flexible. It lets you do whatever the heck you want. All I want to do here is get all the stock.year values. So it's going to create that first array that I see there. Now I can change up this closure to use trailing closure syntax. I could not worry about all this return stuff. Instead, I could just map $0.year. So $0 is saying literally every stock in this stocks array. So get the years. Cool. Now how can I get only the unique years? How can I filter out my array that I got from map, which is just a series of strings, to get only, right now, 17, 18, and 19. Could use a set. Interesting. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. What do we know about a set? Yeah.
It only gives you the unique items. It doesn't allow any repeats.
Yeah. It only gives us the unique values in there. Look at all this code we're using. We learned arrays in week 2. We learned sets in week 3. We learned map and higher order array functions in week 3. We've learned about closures literally every day since then. You're just changing some data on an array. You're just picking out a string. Yours is just a string. I know this is scary, but it's all stuff that you have done before. And by that, I don't mean you must know how to do it. But I don't want you to be scared of it. Neat, right? Let's do the same for months. I want to get all the months. Albert, how do you think I can do it? I know you weren't. That's why I called on you. Tell me how to do it now. Got it. Neat. Got all the years and all the months. I want to loop through each of them. Yes, I do, I promise. And here's one thing that I'm doing in my code that probably isn't a good idea, but I'm going to make the assumption that each year has every month in it. Do you think that's a good idea? I agree, Levi. Why do you think that?
We can set an arbitrary starting and end point when we request our data. Perhaps the user can as well. Perhaps whoever created the data can create an arbitrary beginning and ending points. It might have started June 1st, 2017. We don't have a lot of control over that.
I agree. So we shouldn't just use years and months as a matrix of year, and then ultimately 12 months, we want our data to correspond to that. We want our data to be flexible enough that we don't have to use every month. But here's the nice thing about that. Instead of looping through all the stocks, you could loop through all the years, and we could loop through all the months. And all we have to do in here is say, create and add a stock by month and year if I find anything matching these years and months. So in my stocks, which is what I went and got, I want to filter. What? A filter? No. What? Oh my God. What do I want my filter to be? Eric. Yep. Year and month. And how could I type that out? What about it? How about that? Okay. And how could I make it also match for months at that same time? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What'd you get there? Just, mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm filtering here out for the stocks in a specific month of a specific year. And my goal is, I want to create one of these stocks by month and year objects. But I only want to do that if my filter gave me at least one thing in it, right? Ian, how could I do that? Mm-hmm. Let's start with an if. Say that louder. So filter is never going to return nil. Let's look at it. Its return type is an array of stocks. I know you can't see that, I'm telling you. It, yep. Yep, but it's returning an array of type stock. Even if there's nothing in it, there's still an array there. Cool. What do I want to know about filtered stock count? Okay. I think I like greater than 0 a little better. Great. If we got back one or more stocks from that filter, let's make a thing. Feeling lazy. New to that thing. It's going to be stocks by month and year that gets initialized with a month, a year, some filtered stocks. Give me that stuff already, please. And then I'm just going to append that to whatever the thing was called, sorted stocks, append stocks by month and year. This is our model. Sucks, right? Interesting, because I put in the wrong thing. Let's try building this. Who's having fun? Isn't filtering things tight? Phoenix, I really love this, and I thank you for it. So here's what we've got. We can get stocks from a URL. Done that. We can compare stocks. We could probably simplify the logic in this. I don't feel like doing that right now. Then we can create these big old monstrous things that have a month, a year, and a bunch of stocks. You can use these models by close that guy. Calling this function get stocks sorted by month and year. And it will return to you an array of stocks by month and year. You can use that in your view controllers. Nima, tell me about your face. Oh, so you can, I think I've shown you this maybe once before, but any curly brace or any like squared bracket or anything between a starting and a closing point, if you hold Option Command left, it'll shrink it all down together. It didn't go anywhere. I just was doing that to make more space visually. All right, we've got that stuff. I bet you could figure out how to put it in the view controller. But Albert had one question for me. And it was average, question mark? Is that how you would phrase it? All right. I think we can all do this one together. Then we're good. Get month average. So this could be called on an instance of a stocks by month and year. It's going to return, let's say a double. What? Okay, cool. So a stocks by month and year object has in it stocks. Those stocks have an opening and a closing, also a day, a month, and a year. Are we going to need day, month, or year in this average function? Thank you, Eric. We are not. Are we going to need closing in this average function? I'm going to disagree with you. Are we going to need opening in our average function? Cool. If we look at the requirements, which I think are gone on my computer, but if anyone has the requirements, I think we just wanted the average of all the opening prices. Thank you. So all we want to do here is return. Does anyone know how to add up a whole bunch of items? Yeah. Cool. Let's add up stocks. Dot reduce. Starting at 0 is a good number. And then we could say in this thing, it's a good name, intermediate result and stock. And then in here I want to say this should return a double. So by doing this reduce thing, all I want to do is add some stuff up. And all I'm going to add up is intermediate result plus that stock's opening price. Great. How do you feel about that? So this is a double. What is this double? Jocelyn. This whole thing here. How would you get an average? Sorry? Cool. Which step do you think this is? Yep. This is adding everything together. Now, how can I divide by the number of things there? Yeah, you look. Stocks.count. Interesting. Oh no, binary operator can't be blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see if we can turn this into a double. And so, because we set up each of these things as stocks by month and year, yay. We can very easily just do the math on each of those sets of information. Our models are all set up. That was the hard part. You can do it in your views by yourself. I bet you. The last thing that's going to be super important is in my view controller, I don't want to get stocks right now. But instead, I actually want my model to give me that stuff already sorted out into those types of things that I'm going to use. On over. And so, damn it, sorry. Anyway, in my view controller, I don't want an array of stocks, but instead I want an array of stocks by month and year. And then I can look through each of those stocks. And then when I load them into a detail, I could look at the specific stock. And the thing about representing this information in the way I did is that each section corresponds to one stock by month and year. So that's the section. Each row one of the stocks in there. So it's still a matrix. It's got a section, it's got rows. So if you need to go somewhere using index path, you can look at both index path.section to find the right stock by month and year, and then use the row to find the specific stock in that month and year. This stuff right here, what's on my screen right here, you're going to see it all the time. This is dynamically getting my years. This is dynamically getting my months. It can work for any data set. And then in here, I'm just figuring out how to use that information and set up models that I can easily use in a view. Have you all been beaten into submission, or do you have any questions? Do you have any alternate approaches? What? No. Like, does anyone have a way that they did that they really liked besides noticing all the information was already in order? So you all don't like what you did? I think you did good work. There's just another tool you might have. Okay, I'm going to stand over here now. This isn't the model. This isn't the model. Oh, yeah. How about now? Does anyone have any thoughts? What? Oh, yeah, I think I'm not cool. What did she do? She just like, oh.
Yeah.
More enthusiasm?
Yeah.
How's that? Okay.